Well, how's it going, Kingsmen and all viewers? Welcome back to another NTW3 battle. I hope you guys are ready for another gloriously intense clan fight in this tournament that we have been taking part in for what feels like half a year now. Actually, it's quite a long tournament. If this is just a precursor for what the future years show, I am excited to be a part of it. Now, we are going to be viewing the Rhinebund and Templar clan. Both clans are heavy contenders in this tournament. We've seen plenty of victories from both sides, so I'm excited to actually see them both meet on the field. So this will not be the first nor the last time that they both meet. We are going to be playing or watching this replay on Italy 3. They will be using 36 points, and I think this is the Patriotic War cores, but I actually am not totally sure. If not, this may be the... I don't remember. I can't lie. I'm not even gonna pretend to shovel. I think it may be the Patriotic cores. That's the only guess I have, and I could be entirely wrong, so don't listen to me. But either way, we have Russians and French together on the field. Let's go over these cores before this battle flies off the handle, because already the French start quite close, at least to this Tormasov. But on the Rhinebund side, who's playing the coalition, the Russians, you have a Tormasov, and I'm sorry I don't have the points, they weren't listed, and I'm dumb enough to where I don't know the number of points. I don't play this game enough. I think I've said that several times now, so I'm going to stop repeating it. But a Tormasov, a Duktorov, a Chuchkov, and a Konstantin, a total of 36 points for that core, over those cores. On the Templars side, which is the French, you have a Davout, which I believe is a 10-pointer, a Murat, who's a 10-pointer, Imperial Guard, which may be a 9 or an 8-pointer, and Azuro. So some very classic marshals from the French on the field here. And like I said, this is on France, or on Italy 3. Oh, it's 1812. The cores are the 1812 the cores from 1812. I think that's actually the Patriotic War, but I'm going to stop repeating that as well. Now, we do have on the coalition side, so the Rhinebund side, you have this 8-pointer or 10-pointer Chuchkov, and I realized I could have said the points here. He's supported by a Konstantin 9-pointer who's rolling up towards this hill, so they're going to be having, the French are definitely going to be putting pressure on this left side here. And you can see also Duktorov rolling towards this way, so it looks like the Rhinebund cores are trying to combine in this area right around here. Yeah, and then Tormasov also pushing that direction. We don't know exactly where the French are yet. Keep in mind, Murat, Cav Corps, he is going to definitely be prominent, excuse me, on the field here. Looks like some Chasseur Cheval getting chased by some Gussaries. I believe, oh, I saw the Polonaise. I saw Imperial Guard Lancers, so I'm assuming this is the Imperial Guard Corps over here. Yep, here we go. Look at these elite class cavalry. They feel better than everybody. Everybody else is a peasant to them, because they are just on the drippiest cav uniforms you ever did see. Now, little cav spats here and there, both sides trying to feel each other out still. Obviously, you can see some Gussaries maybe get a little too close here to the French army here. You do have the French forming up. Looks like they have some horse artillery setting up, maybe to drive back some of that cavalry that Russia has thrown out in front. Of course, a army here. This could either be... this may be... I think this may be Davout. It could be a Giro as well, but I think it's Davout. That is my guess, ventured guess here. Either way, though, all the armies are here. This is Murat, I believe, right here. And then the Imperial Guard right here as well. And then this could be a Giro, actually. I don't know. Guess we'll find out. But either way, you can see that the Russians are very much in consolidation. We may actually have our first point of contact here between France and Russia. Light infantry looks like from France setting up. Russia, though, descending upon their left flank. They also are sitting right here in the center. And then there's another corps, albeit it is a little far off, Duktorov and Tormasov here on the right. So France is kind of marching themselves into a potential potential attack from multiple sides all at once. And if the Russians could play the cards right, they could drive a wedge in and kind of surround this entire pocket of French troops. However, with Murat, Cav Corps supporting. I would not be surprised if that is going to become very difficult. But this is obviously, I think, where the first big clash is going to be between the French and Russian forces here. Russia standing in a more defensive posture here. Has some light infantry up in the front, so excellent shooters. Does have some line of infantry that can form square to defend them, just in case the cavalry goes. But nice volleys being exchanged already, and with a thunder, or rattle, I should say, of muskets, we are off to another glorious fighting. More infantry pushing up here, so France really trying to apply pressure to Duke Torov. Now, Duke Torov is still pushing the rest of his corps up, and like I said, guys, Tormasov is still here. Now, something to note, artillery. Artillery could be very, very, very important, especially against that Murat Cav Corps. They are able to drive back, hopefully, the masses of, I'm assuming it would be heavy cav from Murat. I do think Murat is kind of sprawled out in several places. He may have actually brought mostly dragoons and not as much cuirassiers, which still could be interesting. Now, there's also Kingston, who is a guard build. He's all Imperial, not Imperial, all Russian guard. You look at these dudes. Oh, just elite, excellent troops. I like saying elite, if you didn't know. But they're rolling up. That's going to be a beautiful counterattack, maybe potentially. France may be putting themselves in a tough position, as this road is very close. Kingston can easily use it to throw his troops in, but they are definitely dishing out some damage to the French line, or the Russian line, excuse me. Mislabeling my infantry, or my different, you know, countries. Uh-oh, oh no. Oh no. Artillery sniping the 10-point Chuskov's general so insanely early. That is a huge disaster here for the Russian side. Rheinbund really taking a loss there. They just got their general in one. It looks like the artillery set up on this hill, and that, man, that's gonna really hurt. Especially the 10-pointer. That is really gonna hurt a lot once they get in, because I feel like Russia, they really capitalize off of that melee, or the morale. They really need it. Both do, but you know, particularly Russia does. Now, there's some artillery tearing holes in this French infantry lines. We're just standing here taking it. I do see Russia, they're very slowly pushing forward. You can see by the lines of dead Frenchmen on the ground that the French have started pulling back against an obviously powerful push by the Russians. Light infantry still spitting fire into that French line. Well, we crashed. Or we're gonna rejoin in just a second, guys. Whoop, whoop, we are back. Yeah, after the unfortunate crash, but we are starting anew with Constantine's corps starting to deploy in the front lines here. France, I mean, they probably have something ready to deal with this, and they were spitting some fire earlier. They do have some reserves. I've not seen a lot of cavalry yet in the center for the reserve lines, but we do have the Imperial Guard making their way to the front, so the guards may clash. Oh, that would be quite the fight. Imagine the guard of both sides clashing together. Now, so far, Duke Torov is the one who's facing off against them, but we may have the Imperial Guard shifting into gear here to meet them, as Constantine definitely is deploying here. You can see he's stretched out a couple lines so far and more in reserve, all ready to make this attack. Oh, on this side, France getting a little outnumbered on the left by this light infantry skirmishers in lines of infantry here. I'm looking forward to the center fight. I think that's where the focal point is going to be for both of these corps. Now, of course, we do have more infantry here. This could be... Oh, this is probably a Giro. This is probably a Giro. Yeah, this got to be a Giro. That looks like his corps. So that would be the 8-pointer, I believe. He has some artillery with him, but he's going to be descending upon Tormasov's flank. We'll see how well they make that work. Davout in the center with the Imperial Guard plus Murat. Now look at this, though. A lot of cavalry rushing to... Oh, that's why. And there is cuirassiers here. Cuirassiers from France. A beautiful bunch of heavy cavalry charges from Murat. I'm expecting to see infantry pushing forward in the light of that advance. It wasn't the greatest charge on this unit here, and there's cannons that are going to be firing directly here on the flank. Now we do see some infantry breaking here. Mirage should pull this cavalry out. Oh wow, they're charging multiple angles though. This is looking pretty successful here so far. Ooh, I don't know. I mean, that was a bad cav charge. They still break them. Watch out for this artillery supporting, but this first initial line does break. Now we do have some cavalry charging for the guns. They're going to retreat those back. France, though, really putting some pressure on this right flank here. Not a lot happening over here. Just actually, something starting to form here. Obviously, Murat really focusing this flank here. This is where they're pushing against Tutushkov, especially since he lost a general. That may be why they're pushing on him. Cavalry trying to stop the French infantry, but they do break as well, and we are starting to see a pretty devastating rout by the Russians. France using that opportunity to push forward. This may be why Constantine is pushing so hard here, but man, his infantry getting shot to pieces as he pushes forward here. Yeah, he's gonna get close and give him a brutal volley. I can imagine this could be, well, come on, don't be anticlimactic. Come on. Oh my gosh. Yep, here we go. That's what they have to do. They have to go for a bayonet charge. They timed it well, that you notice they waited until they shot first and then they charged in. Over here, Russians defending the tree line. Russia has really gotten pushed back here on the left. Still some cavalry here and infantry though, so France doesn't have free reign just yet. But in the center, this is where the French may have some problems here. Constant pushing forward his corps with some ferocity. France just inching backwards a little bit just to keep getting volleys off. They die just like any other man. Just because they're, you know, Constant's corps doesn't mean they have invincibility. They are but man. They are but flesh and blood. No. Yeah, this push though, beautifully done. They're just running down. Can they form a square? Probably not, but ooh, they are just shooting up this France. You see though, France has reacted quite beautifully to this attack. They lost only one unit. They pulled back just in the nick of time. Constant is still going to try to put more pressure here. We got a bayonet charge now going against the skirmishers. In the center, the Imperial Guard are defending the right. Ajuro actually in danger of being assaulted here. Looks like Tormasov is going for an offensive attack against him. Oh, is that the Swiss? No, that's Danish troops. It looks like some Danes mixed in there. Got all excited for nothing. No, I was kidding. Yeah, they're trying to put pressure on this Ajuro, and a cavalry charge hits a square. But the infantry's trying to push in here. Like I said, guys, they're going to try to crush this flank. The center fighting still happening. Oh, just in time for a glorious bayonet charge here. France is in danger here of getting meleeed. But Duktorov really getting pushed here. You see the cavalry is just keeps circling, and there's nothing Russia can really do against this. Now there's still a contingent of Russians over here on the far flank, but Russia, for the most part, this is their right flank right here, and things aren't going too hot. Now the center attack, though, quite well, if I might say. Breaking one after another of those French lines. Cavalry, though, in support here. Imperial Guard, though, going to start taking a little bit of this fighting. Over here, oh my gosh, a nice charge from Russia, though. France throw in cavalry. The Polonaise, well, so they committed some, Ajuro committed some of his Danish heavy cavalry as well. Still, Russia is doing quite well against this push. Ajuro may actually be in trouble. The Imperial Guard even pulling back their lines to stay away from this push by Tormasov. Oh, the breaking against the Russians. Well done by Konstantin. I'll say this push is going very well. Not just Konstantin, but Duktarov following it up here. Just pushing back the center here. At the same time, France is getting into melee. And Duktarov, he has got his work cut out for him because his right flank keeps folding. Constantly folding. You can see Konstantin's even sent some lines over maybe to the right-hand side. Duktarov actually peeling off more of his core to just totally focus on this right-hand flank. At the same time, the drive through the center by Konstantin and Duktarov's core going beautifully. We even have a almost wedge being driven between Ajuro and the rest of the French corps. The Polonaise, the Lancers, ooh, getting shot up. Look at that. Yeah, I think they're ignoring Ajuro. Ajuro has to actually push out here. I think he actually has to make a push to save the rest of the French because things are going a little rough for them right now. Now this left flank, beautifully going, absolutely just as the French would want. Russia cannot stop this French push. But they are reforming. More reinforcements have showed up. Duktarov has a lot more of his core. Konstantin even has some units in reserve. So they're starting to stabilize. Russia is at least. Over here, France is mass routing here, unfortunately. And several of the Imperial Guard units have broken as well. Not boding well for this French force. Ajuro still cut off. He's trying to rush over to help as basically Tormasov's ignoring him as best he can. Just they're trying to lean into this offensive against the French center. As we look at bigger picture stuff here, there's still Russians here in the back. I'm surprised they haven't tried attacking here yet. They probably don't have very much left, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, Murat looks like he's actually pushing his core up. He has a Crossier ready. Oh, look at this hill. Look at this hill fight. You have the French in the back, way in the background. And you have Tormasov and Duktarov here. And to the left, you have Konstantin and more Duktarov. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous battle. Things seem to have calmed down just a little bit. France is even trying to reform. You see Russia has pulled back his lines, or their lines, because there's multiple corps here, to the road to kind of make themselves parallel, or actually just in line with the rest of the Russian lines here. Now Russia needs to watch out here because Murat could descend upon him as he's doing right now with heavy cavalry, and it's going to be a bit of a tough fight. Lose multiple units all at once. But of course, France has got to watch out that they don't get just focused down by lines of fire. Over here, Ajuro's trying to reconnect with the French line so they're all one whole line together. Ooh, an offensive attack. Beautifully executed. Some grenadiers, I believe, charging in against Konstantin, who's on the defensive against Murat's cavalry. Countercharged by Konstantin here. I'm expecting to see more French maybe try pushing through the tree line. There we go. Some Carabiniers charging in. This fight's turning messy real quick. Lots of cavalry and line infantry everywhere. Constant trying to hold his own here. He is the main corps that has to foot or take on Murat. He has to. He has the squarables. He has all the stuff you would need. But I am seeing France get a second wind here. Look at this. Fresh... Ooh. Some friendly fire there. But fresh infantry pouring into that center line, seconding or following up that cavalry from Murat. Ajuro's even finally, well, he's getting focused down, unfortunately, a little bit here. But is engaging. He's not staying back. He's trying to shift more reserves, I think, into the center. This is where they need to, you know, really strengthen their lines. On the left, France actually isn't going to be able to make as much progress here. This is a heavily reinforced flank here for the Russians. They have reinforced it heavily with Duktorov, and I believe Kingston was there, but I think he's actually pulling his core in the center, where actually things are looking a little bit hotter for them. They're starting to see a lot more French force of cavalry and infantry.
Our men are running, sir.
Even artillery getting some nice focusing fire on Tormasov. But still, Azuro does have some problems of his own on the right flank. His center seems to be holding decently well. Russia actually on the retreat. Not really retreat, but a tactical withdrawal. More of Murat going. I think they're actually trying to focus this right flank down that was reinforced. If they can destroy it, which I think they may, this could be devastating, even a game loss move here. This could be the loss for Russia. They could lose this whole game just by their whole right flank collapsing, potentially. That was well executed. Murat rolling in with the French lines. I'm assuming Davout pushing as well, and they take on and destroy this left flank. And now they are pushing the Russians back. Russia on the retreat, probably trying to find a better defensive position. And France is doing well now. They definitely had a scare, if you want to call it that. Things were looking a little shady for them at first. I mean, they did really well at first against Tuchkov, but excuse me. They kind of teetered out here in the center when they broke, but it seems like they've kind of brought it back. You know, they have come back from their upset, but they have to be cautious. Russia is still very dangerous. Could easily throw them back once again with heavy losses, so they have to be very cautious. I think they're going to be very, very risk-free in their advances. Be very what's the word I'm looking for? Meticulous in how they're gonna plan these advances. Murat's resting up his cavalry. They're trying to make sure theirs are rested. He is pushing this flank, which Russia is very weak on the right. You see Kingston may actually be moving reinforcements over to that right-hand side just because it's looking a little weak, and there's a nice chunk of 4 units that are going to outflank them. This artillery, though, man, is that canister? If it is brutal. I wouldn't want to stare down that cannon. That's scary. Oh my gosh. That would be awful to be one of those guys. You're just standing here, and the cannonball that's about bigger than the size of your head keeps flying past you. Talk about PTSD. Seeing buddies who you shared many a campfire with, his head just gets swiped off by a cannonball. Oh man, France really getting torn up here. Now this could be the saving grace here. They're sending infantry and cavalry maybe to try to take out this artillery piece. Because this artillery piece, guys, it's saving this line right now. It is literally driven back 2 units here. All right, let's see what they do here, because all this defense really is gonna. They're trying to maneuver. Ooh. They're trying to maneuver around this. It's like a cat and mouse game here, trying to nab the artillery piece. Look at this. Oh, they're really trying. Both sides are really trying. That's hilarious. You know, it's so amusing to me. But they're running back and forth. Why not shift some cavalry over here to defend it? You know? Maybe they're going to go from 2 angles here. This artillery is going to friendly fire. There's no way it doesn't. Still, it is giving some devastating, oh my gosh, some devastating attacks here. Oh, cavalry on the flank here. France gonna have to peel off some of those cavalry that was going after the artillery to, ooh, we have a counterattack. Constantine going in for the left flank here. That was so strong. And look at that, beautifully executed attack. Now France is pressuring the center, even I believe onto this left flank as well. France looking very weak, or sorry, Russia looking very weak there, but they have artillery set up in very strategic points here to try to drive back the French. Talk about a very well thought out artillery placement here. Look at this. They're just firing down this tiny little lane. That is so hard for cavalry to get to. It's going to take Murat committing to an actual heavy cav charge, like right here. Charging into infantry, and it could easily be a gamble that does not work out at all. Now, Russia did form some squares. France losing 2 cavalry units in that engagement, and Russia losing a guard unit to the French line. This is still anyone's game, I feel like. There's nothing that really... I'll see, Russia's getting greedy. What are you doing, Russia? Don't. Your artillery... Oh, okay. Well... what are they doing? Is that a misclick? Probably. I would send the cavalry in now. You don't have a lot of time. This artillery... Ooh! Murat going in. Line infantry. I think mostly Imperial Guard, but also some of Davout's corps gonna charge in here with the heavy cav. Gassari's throwing himself into the fray. Heavily outmatched, but they're gonna try to slow down this heavy cav as best they can. This is going to be a very crucial key point in this battle, guys. Can the French break through the center of this Russian line? Because they are not making any headway on the right. And now with infantry getting into melee here, this could be the decisive point in this fight. Oh, France gets upset. One of the units breaks. Murat gonna go in here. Do they form square? Oh my gosh, they don't. They did not form square. Oh no, there we go. Artillery's dead. Now, how many... Oh, he's gonna pull them off the guns. Oh no, this is bad. This is very bad for Russia. They are breaking all along their center. And now the guns, can they fire one more time? Just do it. Oh, nope. Nope, they're not going to. Well charged by the Danes, or the Denmark line. Ajuro has plenty of infantry here. Look at this, pushing up a lot of lines that haven't really been engaged, and Russia's running low on men. Now it does look like the Russians did charge in here, Tormasov charging in, but French cavalry infantry are everywhere. And I'm seeing a lot of Russians breaking and running. Yep, all on the board. I think, yeah, this is the end for the Russians. Rheinbund is just, man, they played so well too. I can't say, you know, it was a very good game. It just, yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I mean, okay, so this right flank breaking, who was this? This was Tutuchkov, the 10-pointer. He lost his general, right? He lost his general, and that was a huge loss here. Then he got charged, and who was Tutuchkov? Yeah, he had 1,800 men. You know, he should have been able to do more kills with that, but he got so focused down by Murat, it was over in less than 5 minutes. And of course, there are interspersed Russians everywhere, so, but there's so much time left, it's not going to matter. France could easily march to all of these LOCs, take all of them, and it would be over. I may fast forward to the end, quite honestly, or to skip to the end. With so much time left, it's probably a given that Russia's not going to keep this victory of LOCs. There's plenty of time. Russia has no troops to defend them. They have a couple in each, but that's not going to be enough. France just has to send... They can easily send double the numbers to each of these LOCs, and it's over. Dang, they formed square.
All the
But yeah, I may
Our men are running, sir.
fast forward. I don't know how you guys feel about it. You can tell me in the comments if you don't like me fast forwarding, but I feel like at a certain point it's just kind of boring to watch. There's nothing really to be done. And honestly, the French or the Russians may marshal their troops out. See, they had some dragoons here. Oh no, sorry, they had grenadiers. Man, did they send all their grenadiers to LOCs? No, just 2 of them. I don't know. That probably wouldn't have changed anything. But yeah, let's just skip to the end, guys. See the results of this battle. All right, guys. So a Templar deathmatch victory is actually what it ended up being. Yeah. So it wasn't even about LLCs. GG's to both sides. But let's look at the results here. So on the French side, who is being played by the Templars, you have Stoltenberg. He was the Azuro, 512 for the kills. Tech as Murat with 1591, Valentin with Davout with 1973, and then Grouchy, he was the guard with 692. On the other side, you have Andre, he was playing Tutuchkov with 816. You have Kaj as Tormasov with 1014, Red Viper as Duktorov with 911, and then Uzo with Konstantin with 792. Hey, so I'd say some good kills on both sides. Almost very equal. Near the end, of course, the kills, running down troops, and all that probably bolstered the numbers. Not to say they didn't do some good kills though. It was a good battle though. I enjoyed it. So, and I hope you guys did as well. But anyway, guys, that'll be it for me today. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in another video.